Hello and welcome to Simple Cryptocurrency Reviews. My name is Claudio and this is HOLOCHAin, the channel where I do cryptocurrency news, reviews, demos, interviews and blockchain games reviews. And in today's review, we'll be looking at a project which is top 100 on CoinMarketCap and ranked 45th at the time of doing this video, October 2019. And it's called HOLOCHAin. And what is HOLOCHAin all about? But hey, before we get in, if you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and enable notifications to be made aware of when I upload the next video that may interest you. And let's get right in and talk about HOLOCHAin. So HOLOCHAin is not actually a blockchain project. The whole idea of HOLOCHAin is nothing to do with blockchain. It's all about the individuals being in control of their own data, of their own assets and so on. And we'll actually be talking about that in a moment. It is a very difficult to digest project if you're trying to understand and if you're non-technical. So I'm going to try and break it down for you in a simple way. But as we can see on their website, holochain.org, and again, that can be found in the description of the video, so do check it out directly from there, and also their Telegram channel where people are very active on there trying to help each other, so you can get more information from that. But what is HOLOCHAin all about? So it's a scalable distributed apps with data integrity. Now they've got versatile solutions, which is decentralization with no bottlenecks and adaptable validation. Peer-to-peer, which means that no centralized servers are in place, no ledgers and no middleman. So it's directly person-to-person transactions, right? And it's agent-centric, which means individual authority over data sharing, access and storage. Okay, so that's pretty much sums it up in what it's all about. Of course, there's a lot of more technical in-depth behind the scenes, which is very, very difficult to digest and to understand. But the best way to think of it, and they've actually given this example as well, is to think of BitTorrent. If you've ever used BitTorrent for downloading, and again, I'm not suggesting that you should be using it, but if you've ever used it in the past or have heard of it, basically it's peer-to-peer information. Or even Git. If you think about Git, if you're a developer, or maybe you've checked GitHub on many cryptocurrency projects and you see how Git actually works, it's peer-to-peer, then this is what HOLOCHAin is all about, and this is what they're trying to do, control in the people's hands, right, rather than depending on a third party to validate those transactions like we're seeing with blockchain. So it's just a different concept, and it is interesting to have an open mind about what's going on out there. Like we've talked about projects like IOTA, which is the DAG technology. So here we go with HOLOCHAin. It's something totally different as well, and they're focusing on peer-to-peer. So just trying to do something different than the rest of the people out there. Now, a more human internet, they're saying here. So each of us wants to have control over how and who with whom we interact. In order to evolve and thrive, our communities must support everyone's uniqueness. Yet today our online relationships are dominated by centralized corporate websites. HOLOCHAin enables a distributed web with user autonomy built directly into its architecture and protocols. Data is about remembering our lived and shared experiences. Distributing the storage and processing of that data can share how we coordinate and interact. With digital integration under user control, HOLOCHAin liberates our online lives from corporate control over our choices and information. Okay, because it's all about interacting peer-to-peer. Okay, so you don't depend on that third party. Now, how does HOLOCHAin work? There is this short video here, so I recommend you watch it. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to take up too much time in this video, but I recommend you watch it. It's a short video basically explaining how HOLOCHAin actually works. So it's pretty cool here. HOLOCHAin helps people basically to own their own data, control their identity, connect applications to suit their needs, transact without centralized systems, and build lighter, faster, cheaper applications. And this is what many blockchain projects are trying to do out there. But again, because HOLOCHAin is not actually using a blockchain, it's a different way of thinking. And HOLOCHAin apps help governance and collaboration, social media, social networks and vendor links, sharing economy and platform co-op apps, supply chain, wins and social communities. So you can start building your own innovative applications. Basically, they've got different languages that are supported to build dApps. And this is pretty much what it's all about. They're also looking for people as well, so we'll be looking at their team in a moment. Now, one of the cons I found with the actual website, okay, now with the project, is that you can't really find all the information you need on the official website. So you actually need to go to their Telegram channel and check the pinned comment to get more links, more information. which basically gives you information on the roadmap, the fuel token, which we're going to cover in a moment, and things like that. So you don't get so much information here. It's a little bit too technical. So maybe to a person that basically looks through CoinMarketCap and accesses the website, they may feel confused. They may be like, okay, what is it all about? I don't really understand it. I mean, it's all good here, but what is it really all about? And maybe they're not even going to read the white paper because it's just too technical, right? So I think they need to make it more user-friendly. If they could do that, I think that would help a lot, just my personal point of view. So let's actually go to the team section here and have a quick look. And this is the team, right? It's not a big team. It is kind of a startup if you think about it, right? David Meister, he's the HOLOCHAIN core guy. Arthur Brock, who's actually went in that video that I recommend you watch. He's a chief architect. Celestial Hanley, UX UI, developers as well, executive engineer, DevOps. A few more developers. So the team is actually quite small, hence why they're hiring, they're trying to grow it. But the vision is quite big, right, of what they're trying to achieve. And if you're interested in job opportunities with them, there's a link here basically asking you to join. This is what they're looking for: people that have experience with Go, Rust, JavaScript, and DHT communications. And we'll be talking about that in a moment, because I think that they're trying to add extra programming languages to the development of the HoloChain ecosystem, because Go isn't actually mentioned on GitHub, and we'll be covering that when I get to the GitHub page. So I think they're just trying to add new languages and probably working on new projects as well. They're looking for front-end people, Hollowports, core apps, devs, and so on. So yes, this is pretty cool stuff right here, right? It is something, it's like it's a different concept, right? Because everybody's just thinking about blockchain all the time, so now we can actually get a different point of view, a different idea out there on what's actually out there, you know, just to understand. So learn about Holo tokens. So this is the thing that I was telling you about. On their main website, you can't actually get roadmap information. You don't get any other information than that they're a peer-to-peer network and they're being decentralized and they're not using blockchain technology, and then you can get to see the teams. And of course, you can access the social media pages, but you don't get much more information. So here on this other website, which I got through their Telegram channel, which is called holo.host, and it will be in the description, you can learn about the Holo Fuel. And what is Holo Fuel? So Holo is powered by Holo Fuel. So now we get more information, right? A cryptocurrency backed by digital assets. The processing, computation, and storage needed for efficient cloud hosting. Okay, so that makes more sense. It's about hosting, right? So then they're giving us some information on the estimated revenue for cloud hosting, the prices, and so on. So Holo Fuel is priced in computing units, processing time, bandwidth, and storage. As the number of hosts grows, that mass of their computing power stabilizes valuation. Hosts set their own prices for their computing power, which will tend towards stability when averaged across a large ecosystem of servers distributed across the planet. Because Fuel also incentivizes participation, it brings along the infrastructure and resources needed to sustain itself. And we'll be looking at what Holo Fuel is all about and how it can actually be gained. Okay, so now to purchase it. So Fuel was available for purchase in advance of the launch of the network during the ICO. Our sales cap is correlated to the capacity of the network and demand for service as indicated through the crowdfunding sale of Hollowport, Hollowport hosting devices, and developer trainings. Now there's more videos here, okay, so quite a lot of videos here explaining what Holochain is about and how the whole thing works. I think that they should really sum it up into one and kind of go through that, right? But there are many YouTubers out there that have spoken about Holochain. This is an up-to-date version, by the way. So now Hollowport. Now we need to understand what is Hollowport, because you read about Holo Fuel, which is the fuel token, but what is Hollowport? So Hollowport can be thought of as kind of a node, kind of like running a node, kind of not really running a node, but more providing hosting, storage solutions for dApps. Basically, developers trying to develop on Holochain will develop a dApp and they need some storage, right? So people that have Hollowports can provide that storage solution for those dApp developers, right? And this is good, right? Because dApps need storage. It's going to be decentralized because they're talking about multiple Hollowports. We're talking about people around the world buying these Hollowports to host in order to get Holo Fuel, right? And so basically what you need to do is buy and plug in one of the pre-configured Hollowports or install the Holo software on your existing device. You do provide computing power, so Holo will run in the background. When applications need hosting, your device provides storage and processing. Earn Holo Fuel, so app creators pay you in Holo Fuel. a secure cryptocurrency that can be sold or used to pay for your own hosting if you want to host yourself too. So you can check out the Holo store, and here's an example. Basically, they're saying with Holo, you'll be able to share the capacity of your computer just like you might rent out a spare room on Airbnb. By hosting distributed applications, you are supporting a web that empowers individuals and communities. And more videos again. And let's have a look at Holo store. So become a host and earn Holo fuel. So Hollowports are plug and play, meaning they come with software already installed and are optimized to run Holo. Just plug it in and follow the instructions. When applications need hosting, your Hollowport provides storage and processing power. App creators pay you in Holo fuel, which is a cryptocurrency that can be sold. So just reiterating that. And here are the types of Hollowports that you can get. There's the Hollowport Nano, which is kind of the equivalent of a Ledger Nano S. If you think about holding cryptocurrencies securely. And you've got the Hollowport Nano here, which is the small version. Not so much hosting power, but it does have 8 gigabytes of eMCC. It doesn't include a HDD, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and 1.2 gigahertz of A or M. And there's the Hollowport Plus, which is the most expensive one, $1,000. It has a quad core. It has 2 terabytes of HDD and 128 gigabytes of SSD, solid state drive. So quite a lot of power here, a bit expensive, but I wonder how much that actually produces over the long term. So those are questions which need some answers to. And again, if you're part of the Holo community or even part of the Holo team, please drop a comment below. Let me know what are the actual benefits of having Hollowport Plus over Hollowport Nano, for example, in terms of payouts, because people that run these also want some sort of payout, right? Because they're using up electricity. You got to see that, right? And then there's the normal Hollowport, which costs $500. So this is pretty much how it is. Kind of like running a node in a way, except you're providing storage solution, right, to other people. Use cases. So this is quite interesting. This is what people may be wondering when they're talking about Holochain. Is like, okay, what's Holochain all about? Well, we know it's peer-to-peer. We know it's kind of like BitTorrent and Git, but give us a use case, because use cases make people understand better what it's all about. So sharing economy on Holo is a good example they've got here. Now the example is Jim has a small guest house and he'd like to rent to visitors. However, he's looking for an alternative to Airbnb. Jim likes to talk to people before he agrees to have them stay with him. And Airbnb blocks attempts to share phone numbers until after a guest has finished booking. So that comes with a surprise. Now coming soon, Jim could opt to join our B&B, or I think they're trying to say Airbnb. No, our B&B, a peer-to-peer home sharing platform run by the hosts themselves. Whenever someone visits the Our B&B website, one of the community members' computers serves their request and deals with the booking. In return for making Our B&B available to anyone with a web browser, that host gets compensated in Holo for the work their machine did. So it's referring to Hollowport in this case. Vision. Now the sharing economy on Holo expands through building numerous interoperable cooperatives. Reputation becomes portable across communities too, so rave reviews in Acclaim our B&B may help Jim access opportunities in other contexts as well. Sharing smaller resources and not just homes and cars also may become more common thanks to Holo's efficient microtransactions. So that's one example. Then there's the enabled dignity, identity for refugees, and also a communication ecosystem to incentivize mesh networks. Now about the identity for refugees, it's an interesting example here, basically referring to a lady who's a refugee. She's a 15-year-old girl and she has no identity. So with Holo, she can get that identity. You are able to access school records. If she goes to school, you're able to access medical records and things like that. So she gets a digital identity, which is immutable, cannot be changed. And of course, teachers or doctors can update that identity by signing into the immutable record about this specific person, right? So that's actually good stuff here, right? They're just giving examples of real world use cases, because this is what people want to hear about when they're reading about Holochain. Otherwise they'd be like, okay, why should I be interested in this project if I don't have a real life use case? And here is a good example of that, and I think we should see more cryptocurrency projects do that and give real life use cases like that to make it easier to digest for new people in the space. And let's have a look at the roadmap and also the GitHub page at the end, but first let's look at the roadmap. So the Holo network is community plus Holochain plus Holo hosting, and here they've got the origins and early tech, which was phase 1, 10 years of currency and decentralized protocol design. So around 2008 is when the co-founders and other like-minded peers worked together and apart for 10 plus years as volunteers on similar solutions. Then HOLOCHAIN Alpha started in March 2017 with a small community. The funding, which was in June 2017 and so on. There are different phases of it, okay? 2,000 plus Hollowports are pre-ordered, by the way, so that's cool. Hosts in 67 countries. Crowdfunding phase. Phase 3 is the building and distributing. So here we've got the in progress stuff, right? So Hollowport assembly, which was in June 2019, over 2,000 Hollowports that have been ordered, assembled and shipped. And the closed alpha testnet, which is in progress at the moment. Testing has begun on the Holo network, capable of serving HOLOCHAIN distributed apps and roll out over multiple waves. There's the Hollowports shipped to pre-sale buyers is going to be next, an open alpha testnet, full feature testnet and beta mainnet. So still some work to be done here with HOLOCHAIN, right? It's not ready yet. They still got a long way to go, but the closed alpha testnet kind of gives people that feeling of what it's going to be like and how powerful this whole ecosystem is going to be. And the question is, will it succeed over blockchain? Will there be adoption? Because this is the thing with a lot of these projects, is like you don't really know what's going to happen, which is going to be adopted until the time really comes and until they prove to be successful. They need to prove themselves as successful to the masses. They need to have a proper use case which really helps solve many of the world's problems out there. And until that happens, we won't really know. But let's move on and look at GitHub. So actually looking at their GitHub page, they're quite active, and this is the thing that I wanted to talk about, top languages, because on most GitHub pages on their specific projects, they tell you which programming languages are supported. We've got JavaScript, Rust, TypeScript, HTML, Shell, but there's no Go, which is Golang. It's a programming language developed by Google, and that's not actually listed here, but they're looking for people with knowledge of that programming language. So it could be that they may support it for a specific project. They've got updates here like 19 hours ago, 23 hours ago, so it's a very active GitHub project. As we can see here, they're pushing a lot of updates. People working on it, only 9 people, okay? So that's why it is a startup, it is a struggle trying to get many changes, hence why they're looking for people. They're looking to hire all the time. So yeah, 9 people basically actively updating this GitHub project, pushing changes and things like that. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is pretty much it from this project. This was the review of it. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's going to be better than blockchain technology? Do you think HOLOCHAIN may succeed? In my opinion, it's hard to really know until we see the product out there and until we see a real life use case in which people are going to be using it, and then we may see some sort of adoption. It's very hard to make a decision based on that. And again, I just want to remind you, check the disclaimer in the description. This was not a sponsor review. It was my choice to review this. Some community members from my CryptoSchain community on Telegram have been asking me to look at HOLOCHAIN. And here it is. It is one of the top 100 projects. And as promised, I have done a review on it, as I will be doing a review of other projects in the top 100 as well. That was it from today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.